doorframe. Satisfaction roared through her. For once, Cynthia didn't feel helpless. Adrenaline pumped through her veins, giving her awesome strength. She was in charge. She was almighty. The lamp struck his face and shattered, sending razor-sharp glass shards into his flesh and around the room. She relished the raw shriek of stunned pain that gurgled from deep in his throat. He held up his hands, turned his face half away from her as if to protect it. Using the base of the now broken lamp, Cyn landed a solid thunk against his temple. His hands batted at her, but they were ineffectual against her fierce vengeance. Unable to stop herself, her blows occurring without her mind's input, Cyn struck him again and again, then once more. His corpulent body slumped to the floor, but she didn't register what it meant. Panting, she stood just out of his reach, gulping air, crying silently. Her nightgown twisted around her body, her short curly hair half hanging in her eyes. The now broken lamp was still held aloft with both fists. Ready. Cynthia waited for his curses, for his fists, for anything, but nothing happened. She sucked air so hard, she felt lightheaded, her chest heaved, her throat burned. Oh, God. The seconds ticked by, each one reverberating with her frantic heartbeat. 1, 2, 3, and finally, with new fear, she crept closer, slowly, so very slowly. She expected to be grabbed at any second, pulled to the floor, punished, touched. She tried to stay prepared, but her legs were shaking horribly and her eyes blurred, her lungs hurt. Palmer was a large, terrifying lump on the floor, unmoving, silent. Too silent. She couldn't hear him breathing, when usually his weight made him wheeze. How long Cynthia stood there, she couldn't say. And then she heard her mother fumbling with the front door. As a barmaid, Cyn Potter worked late and played even later. She'd be drunk, and even if she weren't, she'd be no help. "It's for your own good," Cyn always said, and Cyn knew she believed it. That was what made it all the more frightening. Galvanized into action, Cynthia turned on her dim overhead light and surveyed the damage done to the man her mother had brought into their ramshackle home 2 years ago. Stripped clean of emotion, she took in his mangled, unrecognizable face. There was so much blood, so much swelling and bruising, she couldn't make out his hated features. She felt no remorse. She didn't. She felt only a sense of being very, very alone. Knuckling aside the useless tears, she forced herself to think. She knew nothing of first aid, but it didn't take a genius to see he wasn't breathing. And there was so much blood on him, on the floor, and on her. Using the bare toes of her left foot, Cyn nudged him. Nothing. Not a sound, not a movement. Her arms curled around herself, and she bent double in pain. Not for him, but for herself. She'd killed him. Pity became an acrid taste in her mouth. Pity for herself and for what she'd been forced to become. It worked its way up her throat until she sobbed, but she immediately stuck her fists against her quivering mouth to silence herself. She could hear her mother in the kitchen, pouring another drink, singing to herself in her drunken slur, as oblivious, as uncaring of her daughter's welfare as ever. God, how Cyn hated her. At least, that's what she tried to tell herself as her heart shattered into small pieces. Causing so much hurt, it was a wonder it didn't kill her, too. In her mind, she was dead. Dead and buried so that a new Cynthia could be born. After tonight, the pain would go away. She'd make it go away. She drew a deep breath to calm herself. The future opened up before her with warm, colorful possibilities. Pushing aside the revulsion, Cynthia dropped to her knees and dug in Palmer's pants pockets until she located his wallet. It held $100. To Cyn, it seemed like a fortune. Thanks to the recent driver's education classes at her school, she had her birth certificate and social security card in the top drawer of her dresser. No one had been more surprised than Cynthia when her mother agreed to let her take the classes, until Cyn explained that it'd make her life easier.